Hey guys, welcome to Roots Magoots, where today we are going to be doing some updates to this Gibson USA SG standard. Now, this guitar I've had for a long time, but the previous owner, it is mostly stock, but not fully stock. The previous owner has installed a set of the mules from Bare Knuckle in there, and the output it just isn't what I'm looking for. So I have a pair of Bare Knuckle Miracle Man, basically Zach Wild set to put in there. That's a little bit higher output. And then the tuners on here are Schallers, but they're not the stock ones that came with it. And since they're not the stock and they don't have the right tuner buttons, I went ahead and we're going to install a set of Schaller locking tuners, and they don't have the right buttons for it. So I ordered a set of buttons. Hopefully I'll be able to swap those out onto the Schaller tuners. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out. So anyway, let's take a closer look at stuff. I'll leave you with a playthrough at the end. And during all the work, I'm just going to time-lapse everything to make this video not painfully long, although it should be a pretty straightforward install. So let's take a close look at what's going in it. All right, so I'll just work around the camera here to show you guys. Here is the Schaller locking tuners. They come with extra screws. Schaller stuff is always top-notch. It comes in a nice case. And then we'll just get out a tuner. But they're all nice heavyweight brass, then chrome plated afterwards. And then here's the little locking feature on here. I did it with the small locker, so it's not super apparent. Although I'm trying to keep this as stock looking as possible with the knowledge that it is a modded guitar. But anyway, nobody really sees the back of the headstock anyway, but this is a smaller deal, so it doesn't, it's not, a lot of times they have the locking knobs that are large, but it's nice and small. But you can see the button on here. This is as close as I could get to the actual thing. So I got these buttons, and I'm hope that these will go on here. We'll have to see. I'll keep your fingers crossed for me on that. So anyway, that is all that. And then when you order these things from Schaller, by the way, you can spec everything. So you can spec the height of the post. You can spec out like which way it's mounted and left and right, like everything. They give you tons of upgrades, or tons of options, I say, on buttons and everything else. So you can customize them when you order them. And then even though they're from Germany, I usually get them here in the States in about 3 days. So they're super quick with shipping. I love Schaller and can't speak highly enough of the company. Then we're going to come over to the pickups. So this is the set of Bare Knuckle Iron or Miracle Man's. Iron Man shows you where my brain's at. Let's take them out. I had them age it, and I did like a heavy relic job on here. As I play, like that'll get more of a natural wear on here, but they just kind of like hasten things a little bit. And I just did 2 conductor. I'm not doing all the split stuff with it. And as far as the control layout, I'm bypassing the tone knobs, I think. I don't really use them, so I'll just do it up to 1 volume and then keep on. I'll use the 3-way toggle as far as a selector, but those are those guys. Bare Knuckle always does top-notch work. So we'll set those guys aside. And then when you order Bare Knuckle, they give you the standard flare of get extra strings, the roto yellows. I don't use those though. I like coated strings. Give you a decal and then a pick that just fell, and a coaster and stuff. And then they give you springs and screws too for it. And then they'll even like age the screws, as you can kind of see. So anyway, that's that. I've also got some new rings. I think the ones that the previous owner put on there might be kind of chewed up. So if I need it, I have it, and then I have extra screws because the screws that are on there are wrong. So we'll be doing all that. And then the strings that I like that I'm going to put on here are the Diodario XS coated strings. Absolutely love these things. They feel great and they last forever. And then last but not least, I'll probably swap out the output jack for this Tone Pros. These are relatively expensive. I think like $7, $6, and it gives you twice the connections on all the parts. So it's just a more secure fit. It doesn't want to wear out as easily, and it creates better contact, which is obviously good for signal to noise ratio. So yep, that's it. And we'll dive right in and get started. All right, guys, so that's a wrap on that. I left all the electronics in here. I just rewired to the 2 volume pots. The bridge volume is giving me some problems. It's not giving full volume, so it sounds a little weak. So I'm going to have to clean that out or just replace it. I wasn't having a problem with the output, so I decided to keep that. And then I try to keep everything, if I can, vintage. If I need to swap it out, then I can. I mean, this is a modded guitar. It's had a fixed headstock and everything else. But anyway, these pots are original, and then so is some of the wiring. So anyway, that's that. And then coming back over here, this gave me a little bit of problems, as you might have seen. So these were a 0.2 millimeters too small. So I had to drill those out, and in doing that, like I rounded it out instead of like having the flat parts on here. So I just used some green retaining compound on there, and that will lock it in place. And then other than that, these bodies are just a little bit shorter. So we do see how they don't exactly line up, or they aren't exactly the same size, but I'm not really worried about that too much. Other than that, like, it didn't really fight me. And let's go ahead and flip it around to take a look at the pickups. Here's the front, and here's the 2 bare knuckle Miracle Mans, and those went in well. No problems there. I kept everything else the same. All that's the same. And then we'll go over here to the headstock, and here is what it looks like on the front with those locking tuners. But the idea is that you don't really notice, and I'm glad to have the vintage style tuning buttons on there. All right, guys, so that's a wrap. That's all there is to go over on this one. It was a quick, fun project. The tuners, again, did give me a little bit of problems, but I'm really happy with the way they came out. And I definitely prefer locking tuners. It makes life so much easier. I even use them on locking nuts too, just because I like them so much. Pickups are good. Actually, they sound really good. I just don't have full-throated volume on here. So I'll do a quick little demo for you. What I'll probably do is just raise the gain to kind of get that output, that push on it. And that's about it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them and I'll be happy to answer them. Maybe you're looking to do the same thing or, you know, just kind of mod your SG. It can be a vintage one or a new one. I know the vintage ones are kind of frowned upon, but this one had already been done before I got it, and I was okay with that. Again, it's gone through its paces with the broken headstock repair and things like that, but she's still ticking after 50 plus years, and she still sounds badass and plays as good as ever. And I will leave you again with a quick little playthrough, and you guys take care.
A volume of ancient Sumerian burial practices and funerary incantations. It is entitled Natural Demanto, roughly translated